What's up guys, Chris here, and so is Jayden. Y'all have been waiting for this handsome hunk of minigun goodness for a while, so in this video we're going to take a look at some of the teams that you can run with Jayden. Maybe it can give you a better idea of whether or not you should go for him based on some of the units and cards that you have on your roster. We are trying a new format with this video, so please let me know if this is something that you guys enjoy. As always, let me know in the comments section below your thoughts on the teams and builds that we go over in this video. Finally, y'all have been waiting for it, and it's here. Jeff Bezos is officially my boss now. Well, not really, but the channel is now sponsored by Amazon Coins, so for those of you who have been asking how to help support the channel, we'll have a quick rundown at the beginning of the video here. We're working on a couple of other things as well, so thank you to all of you that have been with us from the beginning and all you new viewers here in year 2. If you guys liked the video, turn that thumb upside up and smash that red button. Let's minigun our way through this one. First, let's talk about Amazon Coins. A lot of you already know how this works in War of the Visions, but for some of you, you may not be aware, so I'll go ahead and do a quick rundown. This video is sponsored by Amazon Coins, and what that means is you can use the link in the description below to get up to 20% off purchases in game. More coins means more visual. Tasty. And these coins are actually good for any Android apps and games on the Amazon App Store, so if you have other games and apps, it's not like these coins are going to be locked into War of the Visions. Think of them like tokens at an arcade. You buy the tokens with cash, and when you play games with these tokens, they give you cool bonuses like extra lives, an extra throw at skee ball, or another minute in the ball pit. Well, maybe not that last one. Regardless, if 1, you play War of the Visions and you spend money in game, and 2, you have access to the game in the Amazon App Store, going through Amazon Coins really is a no-brainer. And on that second point, if you do play War of the Visions on another app store, you can click the handy blue button here to learn how to transfer your account to Amazon to get access to this offer. That's it guys, be sure to check out the link in the description below. It's a great way to pick up some extra visual, help support the channel as well so we can continue to make War of the Visions content. All right, let's get started talking about Jayden, and I'll go through real quick what we talked about in the monthly planning guide. Jayden's a missile attacker. He scales with magic. You see all the units and the cards there below. I really should update this to have Jayden's card in there instead of Rob's card. Rob's card probably not going to help Jayden all that much, helps Elena a little bit more, but basically the same people who are looking at Elena are going to be the same people looking for Jayden. You see the units there: Elena, Summer Kilphe, Yuna, Warrior of Light. We're going to talk about that in this video, but basically that's one of the problems currently with Jayden, is that it's really hard to build a super effective light team unless you have 1 or more of these limited time light units. So for some of you newer players, like if you didn't get Elena, if you started at Final Fantasy VII and maybe you spent a lot on Final Fantasy VII, you don't have enough for Elena, and maybe you're thinking about Jayden, you might not be able to put together such a like a meta team with Jayden, and that's okay. We're going to talk about a couple of options that you can put together that don't involve some of these limited units, but for sure the best teams will involve these limited units. So my personal opinion would be, unless you have 1 or more of these units, probably pass on Jayden for now, especially since he's non-limited, and I know these 100 cost units can take a long time to max out if you don't get them now, but for a lot of free-to-play and light spenders, guys, it's really tough to justify saying, hey, grab Jayden now and hopefully you can grab one of these light units in the future. I would just continue to save visual and work on maybe whatever your primary element is if you're a newer player. You see the vision cards there too. The vision cards a lot more important probably for Jayden's build. You'll notice I don't have Jayden's vision card on this, and we talked about this in the monthly planning guide, but I really don't believe that that vision card is a must for Jayden, and we're gonna see when we go through some of these teams why that's the case. All right, let's look at the first team, and this is one of those teams that I think is probably like the meta team that people are going to run with Jayden. You see Jayden, Elena, Yuna. Obviously, you probably would have to not spend on Final Fantasy VII. You would have had to grab Elena. There's 2 things I want to point out about this build. 1, we aren't using Jayden's vision card. We also aren't using Elena's vision card, and there's a couple reasons for that. Jayden's vision card, really good for missile attackers. He's going to be the only one, but he can benefit from Bahamut. Carbuncle, another card that is really good for both Elena, Jayden, and Yuna. So what we're doing here is we're not running Evasion Elena. We're kind of running her as a bruiser, a lot of defense, a lot of resistances, trying to keep her alive, have Yuna keep her alive long enough for basically Jayden to nuke everything on the battlefield. I think this is going to be this or some variation of this will probably be the meta team. You could run an Evasion Elena with this as well. One of the interesting things that I did with this build is if you run Subjob Kodadama Wielder on Elena, you can actually get some magic shields as well to keep her alive a little bit longer in front of Jayden, while Yuna also keeps her alive. Using the Solidus card gives you some slash resistance there, as you can see here on the right. Missile resist, all these party buffs, single target resist. You have HP plus 25% from the Bahamut card. There's a ton of tankiness using these vision cards, and you don't need Elena or Jayden's vision card to do this. Bahamut, Carbuncle, both going to be really good cards to increase the damage on Jayden and Elena. The next build we're going to look out here is going to be replacing Elena with Summer Kilphe. So this is basically kind of the same deal, except with Summer Kilphe, you see we replaced the vision card in the Esper with the Scions of Shadow vision card, which is a physical vision card that increases your light attack by 35%. You can see there on the right in the party buffs. And then she uses obviously like the two-headed dragon for her physical attackers. This is probably going to be in some ways just as effective. That first team going to be a little bit more effective against magic attacks. Summer Kilphe also very good against magic attacks. You have the spirit bonuses. You still have that single target resist. The only thing we took out was that Solidus card, so we're losing that slash resist, but we're gaining 35 more light attack from that Scions of Shadow card. So again, as we talked about in the opening, limited units, any combination of Elena, Summer Kilphe, Yuna, Jayden, you're probably looking at a pretty good team. Similarly, if we move to the next team, you can replace that Summer Kilphe or Elena with Warrior of Light in the front, and you can see running Death Machine as the Esper for a little extra tankiness on wall, but you could also run them as like a bruiser build or something like that, do a little bit of extra damage. Either way, Jayden is not that tanky, but with all of these vision cards like Bahamut, you run some resistances, he's going to be able to survive probably more than one hit, especially against ranged units. He's pretty much immune to ranged attacks if you use the Carbuncle Esper. You combined it with the Carbuncle Vision card. He already has, I believe, 30 missile resist as a base, so he's going to basically throw down on those teams that are Frederica and Cloud that are trying to use those ranger abilities from a long ways away. He's going to resist that damage really well. So again, here's all of our builds with those limited time units. One of the things I want to mention in all of those builds is you notice we did not use Jayden's vision card. So in what situation might you want to use Jayden's vision card? Everyone's saying Fina, but the unit I actually like with Jayden's vision card, and you see we swapped that out on Jayden, is Camillo. And not a lot of people are talking about this, but Camillo has the sniper sub job. So if you're running Jayden's vision card, you're actually going to get that missile attack bonus, which Camillo will benefit from. So instead of trying to boost his pierce attack or his slash attack, you can actually just try and boost his missile attack with that sniper sub job. Sniper sub job also, he's got a lot of cool abilities, like the barrier breaking is going to let Jayden just nuke basically whoever is right in front of Camillo, even if they have a physical barrier. So this is a really interesting build, and I hate Camillo. He's a really stupid character, but this would be probably the best way to use him is with Jayden's vision card, getting that missile attack bonus, run the sniper sub job, and you see Yuna again. And I put Yuna in basically all of these teams because if you guys haven't figured out by now, she's kind of good. She's by far the best support healer in the game, but again, if you don't have Yuna, you could probably run any combination of a third light unit in here for a little more firepower, but probably a little less support. I still think Yuna is a centerpiece in a lot of teams, not just light teams, so she's going to anchor any team that has Jayden in it, any light team, whether you have Elena, Summer Kilphe, or Warrior of Light in front of there. Finally, let's talk about a team that you can run if you don't have any limited time units, and that's going to be Engelbert and Mashery. That's right, Mashery. So Engelbert running as a tank, the 120 EX for Engelbert, he's actually kind of comparable to Warrior of Light, maybe not quite as strong. You can see I have the Vow of Love vision card. We're running Solidus. Those are both available in the Mog shop. So this is a very easily attainable build. So if you have none of those other units that are limited time light units, this actually would be kind of an effective team. I'm not going to say that this team right here would be able to compete at like the highest levels of PvP or anything, but certainly you could surprise or shock some people running Engelbert and Mashery. This is a really tanky team right here. You'd be surprised how long 120 Mashery can stay alive. I've learned that from watching some of Mysidia's videos. So this is why I called it lean beef, is because you have a lot of tankiness in this team, and hopefully Jayden could do a lot of damage here before your front line gets taken out. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. If you guys are looking to pick up some Vizor this week, maybe pick up Jayden, be sure to check out that link for Amazon coins in the description below. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.